You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
You're
Hey,
great.
Derek.
Are we gonna have nicknames for each other each episode?
You're
I think
great.
we should.
You're great.
I'm Underboob. That's the original. That's the OG. So you're Nev Nips. I'm Underboob.
Oh wait, let's not give away the studio production value we have here.
It's pretty low.
You're probably going to sing anyway, so you might as well just use
That's
that
a
part,
good
you
point.
know? There we go. You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
Welcome to the Hug Life Podcast. I'm Mike Mickey Coletta.
And I am Monica Pluto Nevi.
Oh, you had some choices there.
A lot of options there. A lot of Disney options.
Yep.
Hey, Monica.
Hey, Mike.
What are you doing this week? Tell me all
yeah.
about it. And also the listener at the same time.
Yes. Thursday, I am at Tacoma Comedy Club headlining. It's going to be a great show. Buy tickets right now. It's 25% capacity. Those things, you know. Former guests of the podcast, 3 former guests of the podcast will be on the show with me. Chris Mejia, Kane Holloway, and Chase Myers. We've had all of them on.
I love all of them equally.
Yeah, they're great. And if you get premium seats, you get a copy of both of my albums. Okay, then Friday we're going to do trivia because we can't do it Thursday. So a Friday night trivia live stream this week, and then another virtual show Saturday. I forget what it is. And then next week, Thursday through Saturday, 11th through 13th, I'll be at Spokane Comedy Club with Sarah Colonna.
Excellent. Well, I'm just
Thank
hanging
you.
out, so
Cool.
cool.
Yeah.
Monica,
Yes.
things you can do to help this show. 1, tell your friends. That's probably the most important thing, honestly.
That would be very helpful. You share a post.
Yeah. 2, you could rate and review and subscribe to it if the place that you listen on allows you to do that. Otherwise, just tell your friends. You can also go to huglifepodcast.com or monicanevi.com, click on the Amazon banner, shop as you normally would, and we get a little something on the side.
Yeah, I like the idea of writing a review if maybe you watch it or listen on something that watch. It's on YouTube, but it's literally just a picture, but you could listen there. Writing a review and then just texting it to your friends. Why not?
Just casually texting it.
And Mike just got a text right now of a review, I'm sure.
Just casual. Just super cash. Soups totes cash.
You can, did you say Patreon? No, you can go to patreon.com/huglifepodcast. It's just $1 a month. You get bonus episodes and also, I don't know, discounts and whatnot. If you want free tickets to Thursday, I will put it in the Patreon. How about that?
Monica will put it right on in that Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
You know what else you can do? You can go to studiododge.com or at Studio Dodge on Instagram and check out our friend Danny Dodge's art. If you purchase it, that would be even better, but you don't have to. Just supporting her is helpful.
Yes, I just got my new stickers from that she designed.
Do you like them? Do you love them?
I do like them. Oh, yeah. Do you want to see one? It's very good on the podcast.
I want to look at one. Are you going to show it to me?
They're small. Yeah, I'm bringing it up. I got to get them out of my bag here.
Monica's getting them out of a bag.
But she's also, every experience I've had with her, very quick and very good at, can you see it? There.
That's so stupid. I think I like it. Oh, that's nice.
It's good. That wasn't his reaction to the sticker. That's what the sticker says.
Yeah, that's what the sticker. I was reading the sticker, everybody.
Yeah. Anyways, Studio Dodge. Check it out. Is there anything else?
And last, you could, if you want to see cute animals or people who have been on this podcast and support them, you can always check out the Hug Life Podcast Instagram at Hug Life Podcast, and you can just check out fun stuff. It's nice.
Yeah, it is nice stuff. I posted a little doggy yesterday. It was very cute.
I saw that. It was adorable. Hey, Monica.
Tiny. Hey, Mike.
Do you have any lexical embraces? People
Can
you
I
want to embrace with your mouth?
I don't know why the visual of that is difficult to wrap your
Mouth
head
around.
there. Difficult to wrap your mouth around.
I'm going to give you something that's difficult to wrap your mouth around. That sounds
Can I
dirty.
lexically embrace tea? Because you could wrap your mouth around that.
You can wrap your mouth around tea.
I love tea. I don't think it gets, I think it has a bit of a weird stigma because everyone's like, oh, coffee, but tea's what's up.
You know what I really like? I like the tea you get, the milk tea at like Din Tai Fung. Fung. I always call it Din Tai Fun as like
I love this place.
The
More
running
like Din
joke.
Tai Fun.
I like Din Tai Fung, more like Din Tai Fun. You know, like a
Yeah.
dad is what I do. But
Yeah.
now I accidentally call it the dad joke instead of the real name.
I have 2 things of tea right here on my desk. That's what's up. I
2
love tea.
T's, Monica. Old double T's, Monica.
Oh, fist and teas.
Fist and T's, Monica.
Fist and teas, Nevi. Okay. What are your lexical embraces? Or
I think I have a couple.
Okay, good.
All right. Number 1 is, how did I word this? I worded it as either figuring something out or understanding a concept. Like
Okay.
when it took you a long time to figure this out or understand something, the moment when you figure it out and understand it, it feels really good. And it could be
That's,
anything.
Why do I feel like this came up like 2 weeks ago? Is this based on school stuff?
Yeah, but maybe it was then 2 weeks ago. But you know what? It's worth it. It's worth
That's okay.
saying.
It was phrased a little bit differently where you're like when you were working on something for a long time and you weren't getting it and then all of a sudden it clicked. Like that was more of
You know what? It's
Is that
very
different,
similar,
or is
but I
that the
guess
same?
this one, this
it's
one
okay.
is,
That's what's happening in your life. I'm
Yeah.
drinking tea. Made me think of tea. You have school stuff.
you're drinking tea and I'm figuring things out.
We have different lives, Mike.
We lead 2 very different lives. My
do.
second thing, and I mean, I have to do a food, right? Everyone expects it at this point. You had to do a food.
They would be disappointed. Maybe they only listened to the first
Food
7
of the
minutes
week?
and they're like, "There's
You
no
ready?
food. Fuck this." Yeah.
It is dark chocolate.
Oh, are you back on the keto? Yes.
Oh yeah, I'm still doing it, so it's fine.
So we
but I got
got
some
the-
stevia sweetened stuff that was very tasty, and it's sea salt and caramel flavored.
Nice. That's
but
pretty
it's
good.
still keto. You just can't eat a ton of it, you know. Like
Right. I did have bacon for the first time in a while this weekend. And
how
was
did it make you
nice.
feel on the inside?
Like I was doing keto. So many
I ate
motorcycles right next to my
So
house.
much bacon. It's insane.
I literally the only 2 people I've really lived with that were doing keto was you and Cameron, and it was just bacon literally all the time. So,
Oops, all bacon.
but my house still smells like bacon just from making it once. So, and that was on Sunday
It's not bad at all.
or Saturday. Might have been Saturday, honestly.
Who
Oh.
knows?
Can I lexically embrace just a good idea coming to fruition, I guess? Not on my own part. This weekend, I got to go to this. It's not an event. It's a restaurant, technically, right now, called Field to Table, which is, it's at Lumen Field where the Seahawks play. Quest, CenturyLink, whatever you want to call it. And they basically set up like a big tent, like one of those huge ones. So it's like a restaurant kind of, but it's super spaced out and you're outside. And then they serve you like fancy ass chefs, a
The
4-course
chefs, they just
meal.
serve you chefs?
Yeah.
Here's
they've killed
Bob.
them.
Hang out with Bob
Yeah.
for a while.
People don't, you watch a lot of Chopped and no one ever says, well, what does the chef taste like? They like their
You
meals
almost
like
made me spit
very
out my Diet Coke.
fancy chefs from the area. They have like a one each night, right? And then they serve a 4-course meal, and it was delicious and fancy. But I know the people who kind of created it, and having an idea that big and then doing it is a lot of.
And then it happens, and it's
But
beautiful.
then they sold it out for like a whole month. So
Hell yeah. You know what people love now? Food.
yeah, well,
I like
and
talking about it.
they love food. I feel like we've been trapped inside watching fancy cooking shows, but you can't go to fancy cooking restaurants. So they made kind of a safe. Actually, I'll be honest, like they did a really good job as far as, you know, we talked about this last week. Nothing can be 100% safe right now, but it was like there's like 4 tables in a row, right? And they're all probably 10 feet away. And then the rows are like 20 feet away from each other. So you're very much like
That's why they don't have a field.
by yourself. And then, no joke, there was a sign and hand sanitizer every 10 feet, like everywhere. It was great. And then
That's
you
cool,
could pay
though.
$50 to go to a charity, and then you could try and kick a field goal.
Did you do it?
No, I didn't, but it was the best time ever. I was really trying to get them to let me block one, because I thought that would be fucking hilarious. And
Pay $50 to block a field goal?
the owner guy, no, just let me block somebody's who paid $50. They weren't making them anyways. Who cares? It would have been a great video. Then the guy who owns it was like, that would be pretty funny. And I was like, okay, can we do it? But they wouldn't let me do it. But that was hilarious because, it's either people who suck bad and like just don't know what they're doing, or some guy who like is lining up, like taking steps back and like lining up perfectly and then missing it anyways. So,
Like some guy who thought he was really good at it in high school.
Yeah,
is like living his glory
exactly.
days.
Yep. KJ Wright went on the Friday before we went, and he tried to kick one from like the 5 and he couldn't make it, and it was a whole thing. So kicking field goals are not as easy as it looks, obviously.
You have to really have a lot of leg flex. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but it was super cool, and I got to eat fancy food that I never would. It was the first time, because we watched a lot of cooking shows together. I watched a lot of cooking shows with Aaron, where you watch shows that have like plating is like a huge thing. This was the first time where it was like actual fancy plating that I've ever eaten myself, So it was really cool and very delicious. Do you want me to tell you what it was?
Yeah, why don't you tell me what it is? I'm sitting here waiting.
I know you're like, okay, whatever, field goals.
No, I want you to tell me all about it.
The first course was a poached pear and beet salad that had like orange and stuff in it with a whipped honey feta underneath it.
A whipped honey feta?
It was so good. The cheese part was so
How
good.
do you whip a feta?
And endive, like those little seed things. It was good.
Yeah. That
was
sounds
great.
real good.
So freaking ate all of that. Nothing left. Second was a crab and lobster donut. With lobster sauce. It was like a donut that had been cut in half, but it was like, obviously it wasn't like glazed or anything, but it was like a donut that had been cut in half and then filled with like a Dungeness crab and lobster like mix with like celery and stuff in there, and then put
It's almost like a
inside
sandwich, kind of.
Yeah, it looked like it.
Did you eat it like a sandwich, or did you use a knife and fork?
I used a knife and fork because everybody else was. I probably would have picked it up normally, but
Yeah, I want to grab that right now.
it was good. And I was like, what? Like we saw it on the menu and I was like, a crab donut? What the hell is? I thought it was going to be like a shape, like with the hole in the middle, just like a donut, but I was wrong. And then the third course was lamb with a peanut curry, and then it had like rice and like salad next to it, but like the yellow rice. I don't know the words.
Yeah.
Delicious, but it was like he described it because the chef like comes out and tells about it. Obviously, he described it as a lamb sausage that they made because it was like a big piece, but it was round, and so they like added some other stuff, some other types of fat to it. He said, but I had never had lamb before, so it's pretty good. And then the dessert was a brownie. It was brownies on either side, and then cookie dough ice cream with like whipped cream on top of it, and then a caramel sauce, like fancy drizzled around it.
Oh my god, that sounds
which I didn't eat because I had ice cream, but I have photos of these things. If you
didn't eat the outside of the
them.
brownie, I would have eaten the outside of the brownie.
It's touching the ice cream, I don't know. Delicious, really kind of cool. So since we knew the people who were running it, we got to poke our heads in the tent where they were like making everything, and it was such a cool, like, obviously it's at an event, so they were like streamlined, had all these other chefs, the sous chefs, like putting everything together. It made me feel like on Top Chef when they have to go to those events and they're like, you got to cook for 50 people or whatever. Like,
oh yeah,
that's what it looked like. So it was pretty cool. Anyways.
Fancy food.
It is a big project, and they did a good job.
You actually reminded me of one thing that I think I should lexically embrace because it happened again this week, and it happened when I got my free grill. But when you get free appliances.
Okay.
So we got an Instant Pot this week.
Nice.
And you can do all sorts of crazy shit with it I didn't even know about. Katie made yogurt in it.
Wow. We have an Instant Pot we got for Christmas, but we haven't used it yet.
You should use it. We also made like butter chicken, but the Indian dish. Katie did it in an Instant Pot, and it was done in like 7 minutes. It was so good.
That's crazy. I like that.
Really should go for it.
Fast stuff is
use that
great.
Instant Pot, as I'm trying to tell you.
Yes.
Do you have a top 5? Oh wait, no, I'm skipping ahead. We're just on lexical embraces. We got so much more to do. Do you want to do the next segment?
Yeah. Hey guys, good news.
Hey, welcome to the good news. Like it's me, Mike Colletta, coming at you live from my room. Joe Biden vows that there will be enough vaccine for all U.S. adults by the end of May, which is pretty neat because that is 2 months before they originally planned.
Nice. Well, much faster for me than I would anticipate.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that everyone's going to be like vaccinated by then, but that means they're going to have enough vaccinations. The problem is the process of vaccinating people takes a long time. And
right. Well, he announced today that he's making it mandatory that teachers and school staff get vaccinated by the end of this month. So that would make the other states push forward so you can get one soon.
I hope so. That's why I've been holed up in my house. So, okay. But yeah, I thought that's really cool. And it's like definitely saying that people can just get it done. I just hope people get it done. That's the key, you know?
Yeah.
Not to bum everybody out, but I heard some really interesting podcasts about how essentially like minority groups are very hesitant to take the vaccine based on like the history of modern medicine experimenting on them. And
well, yeah, I mean,
I get it. I totally get it. But it also bums me out because I'm like, oh man, that means people aren't going to be vaccinated when they need to be vaccinated, you know, and they're not going to be safe.
Yeah.
But I understand why.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. There's not a whole lot of trust happening with the government and most people at this point. But
yeah, but that's good to know that if you want a vaccine by May, there will be one for you.
Get one.
Okay, the second thing is actually also, that was on AP, so we know it's legit. The second thing is from Reuters. Betting on death of petrol cars, Volvo vows to go all electric by 2030.
Wow.
Yeah, by 2030, Volvo's entire car lineup will be fully electric, which is like very big because not a lot of car makers have pledged to do this. You know what I mean?
Right. Let's fucking do it. Why not?
And they said by 2025, 50% of their global sales will be fully electric cars.
That's great. Well, and I feel like if there were more electric options or cheaper electric options, more people would, or solar options, whatever, more people would be buying them. So the more that manufacturers actually make, the better chance you have of people buying them instead of getting another gas car.
A gas car. I'm guessing, my hope is that Edith is my last gasoline-powered car.
That would be awesome.
That would be cool, but we'll see. It would also be the first car I bought, but also the last car that is gasoline powered.
Yeah,
that's it for today. You want to end it?
Hey guys, that was good news.
All right.
Oh,
I just did it again. Oh no, I was doing so well.
Yeah, that's actually been a really long time.
Oh man. Hey, Monica.
That up. Yeah.
Do you have a top 5 for me to play today?
Honestly, I don't. So I'm wondering if we can pick a topic and I will give you the worst things. But I'm just running out of things to think of, basically.
We don't have to play it until the inspiration strikes you. We don't owe anyone anything. You know what I mean?
Well, kind of.
We can just talk about whatever we want to talk about.
Anything you want a positive spin? We haven't really focused on our positive spin in a little while.
A positive spin?
I have crazy neighbors.
What's that? Sorry?
Positive spin, crazy neighbors, because now I have one on each side.
I feel like we did crazy neighbors before.
Did we?
Yeah.
Okay. They know where the good drugs are.
Can we, you know what, this kind of comes up to what we just talked about with your fun food extravaganza, but can we positive spin being a person that does have the like glory days feeling?
Interesting. What do you mean by that?
Like when you meet someone that won't stop talking about how good of an athlete they were in high school.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
like that person. Why is it good to hang out with that person?
Okay, so it's someone else. It's not you. Not why is it good that you have peaked? You peaked before, or so it's what's something good about that glory days type of person?
I can think of one off the top of my head. You ready?
Yes, go.
You know how you have that person in high school that you're trying to remember their name and you can't remember? Glory days person remembers.
That's true. That's all they're thinking about. I was thinking at maybe a party, because you're probably not hanging out with this person all the time. You're at an event or a party or something and you don't want to talk. That person's definitely going to take over, you know?
Oh, that's really good. That's really, really good.
Thank you. Also, I don't know why that's not very nice. I was going to say, you know, that person probably talks themselves up to their kids all the time. You could always shatter them. That's fun. Just be like, actually, he wasn't that good. This is not.
Oh, that's really good.
Ask
like you
him,
can
ask
make
him
their
about
kids,
this time. Yeah.
Their kids feel better when their dad's being a dick, being like, by your age, I was doing this. Like, no, they weren't.
Yeah.
I was
like,
there.
But I don't,
no, they weren't.
It's revisionist history. That's not what happened.
Like, Greg's a liar. That's what you can tell him.
Exactly. I mean, and if maybe you want to relive a little bit of those times. So it could be your glory days, but also, you know, like both of us, I missed being on a team and stuff. So if they bring it up, then you can be like, oh yeah, I remember this thing about me. Or
because I wasn't very good at the sports I was playing, I feel like a majority of the memories that I have of them are just the dumb hangout times.
Right.
Like the
Which
stupid things.
Well, honestly, I was good at the sports, and still the majority of my memories are the hanging out and the dumb stuff.
It's all about the dumb stuff. If there's one thing you take away from this podcast, it's all about the dumb stuff.
That is some quote that, you know, somebody struggling in practice, and one of the older players was like, you know, in 10 years, you're not going to remember this practice, but you're going to remember your teammates kind of thing. So, which is true.
I guess in a way, I get the same feeling you got about being like on a team that was good at something from the improv troupe I was on, only because we were good at what we were doing at the time. But now in like retrospect, I'm just like, I'm grown out of it. I'm like so grown out of that.
Well, yeah. I mean, but you've had other experiences. And that's the thing about Glory Days is that you cannot possibly redo it. You know, it was
and I don't think I'd want to.
And you can find glory in something else, but you're never going to have that exact thing. And the only problem comes with you continue to chase that one thing instead of trying to replicate the feeling with something else or other people. Take it for what it's worth, Greg.
Yeah, I think it's important. Yeah, and it's important to remember those times, but it's not important to dwell on them to the point that you don't do anything else. It's like people that are always like, college is the best time of your life. You better enjoy it now. And you're like, what the hell? That's really dark, you know? Like,
but which is so interesting because no matter what stage you are in life, somebody thinks that was the best time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
your 30s. Your 30s are the best time of your life.
Oh, your 40s. Your 40s are the best. And I'm like, who? I mean, no one ever says your 80s, but still, it's, you know, people are like, oh, high school is the best time. But then people are like, no, it's college. You know,
I wanted to be 80 and start talking about how great my 70s were to people and just be a dick. I crapped my pants. No one cared. It was expected.
It's like 70's not that old, but
I'm going to start crapping my pants at least by 65.
That is another part of it where, like, you know, I think I've been struggling lately with like being in my 30s. When we were younger, that seemed old, you know, but I feel really young, not necessarily physically, but like I just feel like I haven't matured enough or
me too
done enough. You know what I mean? Like I don't feel like
33
my mom
in a month.
Right. My mom had me when she was 34 and she already had a 8-year-old, you know, it's like, I don't think anybody's ever ready for anything.
Am I going to have a baby at 33?
Probably. You'll be pregnant.
Do we got a Junior situation going on? If I was Arnold Schwarzenegger in Junior, would you be my Danny DeVito?
Oh, of course.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to hear.
You're welcome. Glad we figured that out. Glory days, here we come.
There's a couple movies like that from my childhood that I want to watch again because I loved the movie Junior and I loved the movie Last Action Hero, both of which were Arnold Schwarzenegger bangers.
That's so funny. I don't remember Last Action Hero, but
Last Action Hero
is an insane movie.
Oh, it's so good.
Like
and
the
Kindergarten
premise of it
Cop?
is so stupid. I loved Kindergarten Cop, yes. But who in their right mind was like now for how racist everybody is as far as acting goes, they're like, let's get this guy who no one can understand. That seems like a great idea to be the lead.
Yeah, right? They're like, he's still white, but you can't understand him, so diversity.
Yeah, here we go. I mean, yeah, those movies. But I want to go back and watch like... what were those? Like 3 Men and a Baby and like Baby's Day Out and all those ones. Why was everyone such bad parents?
We were talking.
Home Alone, I argue about, but yet they forget that kid all the time. Like,
so they just showcased it on Last Week Tonight, the most recent episode of that show. But we were at a party pre-COVID when I heard about this TV show. There was a show in the 90s called Cop Rock.
Okay. And
it was a police procedural drama, but it was a musical, and it was awful. And I don't know, there's clips of it on YouTube. If you want to laugh, spend some time watching that because it's one of the worst things I've ever seen in my entire life. But they just showed it up on Last Week Tonight, and I was like, this is something funny to laugh at, but maybe it's an argument for you shouldn't watch something all the way through because it can't be good now. It can't
right,
be.
You're like, I don't know.
It would be so bad that you're like, why am I wasting precious moments of my life watching this TV show?
Right, I could be reliving my glory days.
I could pretend I'm a football player again and bad at it.
You could be outside practicing your field goals,
working on my goals on the field. Okay, so
I think there's some positives about having a friend that's stuck in the glory days. You'd feel better about yourself. I think so too,
because you also feel better. You feel better about yourself, and they make you feel young because they can't get over it.
That's true, but also, so that person during the glory days I'm thinking you went to high school or something with this person, was technically better than you, right? And now that they won't let it go and nothing has happened since then, you can finally feel better than that person.
Oh yeah, and that's fantastic. That's a good feeling,
Yeah, it is good.
I just this is a weird aside, but I went to lunch, this was right before COVID, with the guy on my high school football team that went pro.
Okay.
So he was in the NFL. He played for like the Steelers, and then he played for another team for a bit, right? He was a tight end.
Or is that a Patreon thing?
What's that?
You gonna name names, or is that a Patreon thing?
I mean, I should probably name names on the Patreon thing.
Perfect. Listen to the March episode of the Patreon to know who he's talking about.
But it's funny because we were like sitting there and we were supposed to get drinks or whatever, and I got food because it's just me, and we met, and it's funny because I wanted to ask him questions about football because I found professional football very interesting.
Right.
And he only wanted to talk about stand-up comedy.
That's so funny, but that is such a thing. Oh, such a thing now. You forget that people don't know anything about it. You know what I mean? Like, knowing what I know about professional sports and my teammates who played and things like that, even in the WNBA, it is what it looks like. I mean, you get to play your sport literally all the time, but it's pretty glamorous, I think the thing that keeps them out of trouble is that it's a physical thing. But for us, it looks so much better than it is.
It does. It looks so much more glamorous.
Does.
People don't see, they see the show and they're like, oh my God, that person did so well. They're so funny. And they don't see us go back to the fucking comedy condo and sit and eat a Hot Pocket in the dark while watching a movie on shitty cable.
And the
headliner is crazy and talks about fucking political bullshit.
Oh God. Anyways, that you don't get that part, or the part that like you can have a bad game, obviously, but that's your fault. You know what I mean? Or you can work harder and do that. Sometimes we have these situations where it's out of our control what this show is going to be like, or how, if they hate me just because I'm a woman in the wrong place. You know what I mean? Like, that's like, that happens too often to us. And I wonder if that happens. That's got to happen to athletes, where people eventually are like come up to them and they're like, you should work on your step back, or you know what I mean? Like, you should work on your outside game more, instead of like with comedy, and they come up and they're like, you should talk about dicks,
The conversation with him was weird because, one, we didn't really hang out that much in high school. We were always nice to each other though. But I was like wondering why he wanted to like meet up and talk. And I think he was thinking about someone that might have been thinking about trying stand-up comedy.
Yeah. I feel like it never
that
really
I might have talked out of it.
Good.
By telling them about my less glamorous experiences.
You've already played in the NFL. You don't, which unfortunately, it's like you could probably ride some off of that a little bit, but then you wouldn't be very good. If you really wanted to be good at stand-up, you have to do the shitty part, I think. Yeah,
you got it. And it just shows like, because I think I've met some people when I first was starting out, and this would be really good fodder for the Patreon, actually. Can you write down my first guest set at the Parlor?
Yes.
For Patreon? And I will share this story there.
Well, I have a good story about my first guest set at the Parlor. So.
Oh, perfect. So we could talk about our first guest sets at the Parlor. It doesn't matter because that club is gone now. Just wiped off the face of the earth.
Rest in peace.
How good does it feel to outdate comedy clubs? Feels pretty good, right?
I
That
don't know.
we lasted.
Yeah, I guess so. That's true. I mean, I've outlasted a lot of things in comedy I wasn't sure I was going to.
Remember, when I started comedy, I thought the People's Republic of Comedy was the most important thing in the Seattle area, and that's dead.
It was pretty cool, and they didn't necessarily know who I was, and I thought that was not good,
Yeah, but who gives a shit?
I also think about, maybe this is also Patreon fodder, but the people who were rude to me at the beginning of my career that are so shitty now is something I didn't really anticipate, or the people I thought were great and like kind of to look up to. And then I'm like, oh my God, that person is not a good stand-up and not a good person, That switch was interesting also.
There's people that, I have multiple occasions of people coming up to me saying when they started, they looked up to me in comedy and then they got to know me and stopped.
They said that to you?
They said some pretty mean shit to me. People we know and love that I still love, but I'm like, yikes, man. Like, because I feel like I was in the weird in-between zone where it was before comedy really boomed, like right as Bridgetown was really becoming a thing. And then a bunch of people started that are still with it now. And they like looked up to me as like a really professional. But when they saw that I was just doing the same dumb shit that they were doing, they realized like, this is what it is.
Yeah, that is part of it. It's like
people think that your trajectory is just always straight up. But in reality, when you start, you can go to open mic to feature pretty damn quick. That actually can happen in like a couple years. But the feature to headliner step is so much longer based on who you are and what connections you have and what you're working. And it's also hard.
Different things that go into it. And also like the shows you thought were cool. Now, eventually I'm like, they don't pay me enough. I can't do them, like,
yeah. Like the shows that you're like, this is really a hip show I want to be at. And you're like, they don't pay anything. Why would I do it?
Right, exactly.
I also say things like hip shows because I'm practically
a
dad
hip
at this
show
point.
I can hop on.
You guys got that hip show I can hang out on? You cool cats and kittens? Okay, so we have a lot of shit to talk about.
Speaking of our glory days.
What's up? The glory days.
Speaking of our glory days. Anyways, go to, whatever it's called. Just donate to the Patreon. You'll get all this hot goss. Do you want to do a quiz?
Goss. Yeah, I actually don't consider my stand-up comedy times glory days that much because I don't really give a shit about the early times.
Well, I wouldn't call them glory days at all. That's why I was, especially the beginning parts. The glory has come 3 years ago and not since then.
Yeah, actually, I would say about the same for me. Like, well, maybe 4 years ago, counting this COVID year.
It's just a lot of work. I mean, Yeah, things will be fine. They'll be better again. I'll have 10 things come out at once, and then there'll be another 5-year period where I don't feel good about it. That seems to be how my career rolls, and that's fine.
It's just a snake of comedy.
Yeah, sneaky snake.
All right, this one's a really fun one. So
okay,
we actually have. It's like kind of like we're playing a role in this one. You ready?
Oh yeah.
So we're both princes or princesses. Okay.
Okay.
Live as royalty for a day to find out what fictional kingdom you're destined to rule.
Nice. Okay, so we're becoming king or queen.
So
we are a prince.
But we're royalty for a day to figure out where we'd rule later on. But we have to pretend we're princes or princesses.
This is the sorting hat of kingdoms.
Yeah. So we wake up on a bright sunny morning in your kingdom. When you open the curtains, what is your view? We have a forest. We have like a mountain town, a big sprawling city, a beach, some fields of like pretty roses or flowers, and then like winter mountains.
Those are crazy. I'm just gonna. Oh, I don't know. I'm liking this village, but also the beach is kind of my thing. I'm gonna go with the ocean, but that village is pretty sweet.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the village.
Okay.
All right. After admiring the view, it's time to get ready for the day. What are you wearing? And we have let's just pick what we're gonna choose.
Whoa. Okay. Oh, these are fancy.
I want to wear that red suit.
Oh, yeah, that's a nice red suit. I like it.
I want to wear the red
This
suit.
is tough. Okay, the first one that's made out of smoke or whatever, that just seems impractical as far as... Like, I'm thinking about what would be best to move around in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I'm a princess.
Yes.
I just don't like the little flaps on this longer one, but I do prefer a longer dress. So I'm going to go the red one with the high neck there in the middle.
In the middle? Gotcha.
Yeah.
Good. Mm-hmm. Okay. Next, you head down to the grand dining room. What's for breakfast? Croissants, donuts, pancakes, cereal, leftover pizza, or eggs Benedict. And they can be crab and lobster donuts if you want.
Well, I mean, if it's crab and lobster donuts, are you leftover pizza? I'm going to go for breakfast. I mean, this eggs Benedict, honestly, it just looks good. I would like a crab eggs Benedict. I'm going to go with that.
I'm going to go with pancakes. Love pancakes.
Nice.
What's the first royal responsibility on your agenda? Organizing a fundraiser for your favorite endangered animal. These are cut off. Having a polo match with your friends. Choosing place settings for the royal wedding. Studying up on your country's history in the library. Taking a drive through the countryside to visit your people. Posing for a new official portrait. What are you thinking?
My first official business. I mean, I would like to take a drive through the countryside, visit, say what's up to the peeps.
Okay, I'm going to study up on my country's history. Take a little chill
that's
morning.
Important.
Eat pancakes and read. Doesn't that sound nice?
Yeah, that makes it.
All right, now for lunch. Roasted duck, seared scallops, Dungeness crab salad, caviar-topped sushi, organic fig salad, or the gold burger.
These are fancy. This is tough. Those scallops look nice. I'm going to go with the sushi, though. I mean, let's just be honest.
Going gold burger. All right. Now you've been tasked with showing the princess your kingdom so that she'll sign a peace treaty. So where are you going to take this princess you want to sign a peace treaty with? The moors, the royal stables, the cliffs, the city, the lake, or a historical reenactment?
The cliffs seems threatening.
It does. It seems like you're going to push him off the cliff.
Right. I'm thinking strategically here because you want her to sign the peace treaty. I think it would be the city because she would see more people. You'd see more of the citizens that you would be affecting through the peace treaty. I suppose the historical reenactment might do the same thing. But
I'm going to do a lake. Just do the lake.
Just do a lake. Then you could drown her if she doesn't do it.
We can go boating. We go tubing or whatever. It'll be fun. Okay.
Ooh, rowboat.
Thoroughly impressed. Thank you, princess. The princess agrees to sign the treaty. She leaves you to get ready for the ball tonight. What are you wearing to the ball tonight?
Oh, what are we wearing to the ball tonight?
I think I'm going to go with this middle jacket shirt combo.
Oh, like a fancy shirt underneath this nice dark jacket. Okay. Well, I'm going to go with the other middle one here, which is another high neck dress, even though that's not my favorite thing in the world. But it's got a nice, it looks like it's cozy, but it's also not too crazy big like a lot of those princess dresses can be.
Gotcha. Okay, as you make your grand entrance, your personal royal anthem starts to play. What is it? God is a Woman by Ariana Grande. Dynamite by BTS, Nightmare by Halsey, Run the World Girls by Beyonce, Blinding Lights by The Weeknd, or 24 Karat Magic by Bruno Mars.
Oh, this is tough. I guess Run the World by Beyonce.
Yeah, I wanted to go with Blinding Lights by The Weeknd, but that doesn't really work for a royal anthem. So I'm going to go with 24 Karat Magic because it's just upbeat. You know, you want to have an upbeat theme
that
song.
is true. You're a fun prince.
This will be fun. Later in the evening, you ask someone to dance. Who is it? The princess from earlier? Your childhood best friend? A member of court you've always been close with? The heir to a rival kingdom's throne? A royal attendant who's had a crush on you forever? Or the biggest pop star in your kingdom? Who's it going to be, Monica? There can only be one.
I'm going to say the royal attendant who's had a crush on you forever, because I feel like they would know you better. You know, everybody else seems like they may be wanting to use you for your status.
Nice. I'm going to do...
Damn it.
A member of court you've always been close with, because you want to have someone you trust to dance with. You don't want to do weird moves. You know?
Yeah.
Don't want someone busting out the sprinkler because you don't know them. Okay. Your dance partner tells you they're falling in love with you. Oh, this escalated quickly. How do you respond?
Yeah.
Tell them you feel the same way. Tell them you're in love with someone else. Propose on the spot. Run away. Kiss them or have them banished.
Tell them I'm in love with someone else. Sorry. Oh my God. Why is this the most questions ever?
I'm going to kiss them. I'm just going to give them a kiss. I'm just going to smooch them.
Okay.
Impulse
Nice.
smooch. See how I feel. Okay.
Yeah.
As the night draws to a close, you sneak into the palace kitchen for one last snack. What do you grab? Fancy cheese,
man.
lots of bread, chocolate truffles, a Lunchable, grapes, or chicken nuggets.
Fuck, I love Lunchables, honestly. But
I
the
love
fancy
Lunchables,
cheese looks
too.
nice. Shit. This is hard. I'm actually going to go with fancy cheese just because if I was in the situation, I'd want a Lunchable, but there would be fancy cheeses, and I would go for that.
I'm going to eat chicken nuggets. I just want chicken nuggets all the time.
Okay.
All right, and finally, the dream. What do you dream about when you fall asleep at night? The dance partner from the ball.
After that?
Ruling the kingdom one day. The stunning outfit you're going to wear tomorrow. The gala you're planning for your birthday. Your next international vacation. Or your royal fiancé. What are you going to dream about?
Your next international vacation. Oh, shit.
I think I'm going to dream about ruling the kingdom one day.
Nice.
Where did you go?
Where did I go? Where am I destined to rule? Wakanda.
Ooh, what does it say?
Yeah, Wakanda forever. You set incredibly high expectations for yourself, and that can rest pretty heavily on your shoulders. However, you know that all that hard work you're putting in now will help you achieve your biggest goals in the future. You'll oversee Wakanda while T'Challa is off saving the world as Black Panther.
Nice.
I'm left in charge. They're like, hey, we know what's going on. This white lady's going to be in charge for a little bit. And I'm like, no, keep doing whatever you're doing. I'm good.
I got Genovia, which is the one from Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, the Princess Diaries, right?
Yeah.
Or Princess.
Though
yeah,
you may
Princess
not
Diaries.
realize it yet, you're destined for greatness. You have a big heart and people in your life often turn to you for help. Queen Mia will be overjoyed to appoint you as heir to the throne.
Nice.
And it's Anne Hathaway dancing and spinning. Oh, that's nice. Connected to this, I found another really good...
Sorry.
That's okay. You sneeze, it's fine. I found another really good quiz that we'll do next week. So we'll do that one next week.
Maybe it's just better the other way.
You have a charity for today?
I do have a charity for today. It is just a combination of great things. March is Women's History Month. We know that. This one specifically for breast cancer, but it's called Casting for Recovery, and it is fly fishing trips for breast cancer survivors. How interesting, right? Specifically, fly fishing seems like maybe something that women aren't often invited to do, so I thought this was great. But it's I saw a couple of different breast cancer charities that seem to be around fitness in some way as a way for prevention or reduction of relapse for breast cancer. There's one called Barbells for Boobs also, but they didn't have a very good transparency rating. Anyways, but it seems like physical activity retreats for, I think, people who are trying to prevent breast cancer as well, but also survivors and stuff. It seems like that seems helpful for the body when you're doing that. Castingforrecovery.org.
Nice. Well, is there anything you want to say to the listener before we go?
I love you so much.